Hi everyone, welcome to another Mixed Media Art Journal spread. To start off, I'm making my decoupage glue using white glue and water. I plan to use my old free community magazine pages as the background. I like using magazine pages because papers from like storybooks are much thicker. Also, napkins and designer tissue papers are pretty expensive. Besides, they're mostly almost always covered up and invisible at the end of everything. So why waste the money? So next, I'll prep the page with gesso to push the text and photos behind. These are background because we just need the texty interest, and these magazine pages will do the job. So with my cutting mat and pen knife, I trimmed out all those extended, protruded magazine edges. To be honest, before I had this channel, I would usually only trim everything that is protruded at the end of everything. But I figured it'd be too confusing for viewers if I did that on screen. Then with my corner rounded puncher, I trimmed out all the corners of the pages. I'm using two sorts of acrylic paints here. I'm just using a wet tissue for this. The pale pink one is a chalk paint by a brand called Little Birdie, and a brown acrylic paint by Folk Art. As usual, I always try to blend in the missed out spine section with the leftover paint. I got these packing foams in a recent delivery. I cut it into a smaller piece for this, and I thought, why not try use it for some textures? I'm just dabbing the paint randomly. I got this pack of napkins 3 years ago. So far I've only just used one piece, believe it or not. There are 3 plies to this, you only need the third one, which is the printed one. Making my decoupage glue again. As much as I love napkins on art journals, I hate how expensive they are, and they're sold like this in one packet. I know there are online shops that sell napkins one sheet per design, but they're still highly priced. I did try printing my own napkins. Till date, I've yet to properly repair my printer. Here's a brown acrylic paint. I'll be using my used bubble wrap from an old project I did. It's not the same like those common rounded patterned one. I had previously got that diamond patterned bubble wrap from a delivery I got last year and was in love with it. So just randomly stamping prints to give the spread more textures. I wanted to add some 3D texture to my page, so I chose this stencil and my Winsor & Newton modeling paste. Just using a part of the stencil. I wonder how thick this napkin is. Even using the last layer of ply, it's still thick. So much white. So here I'm using my watercolor to give the texture some color. Color drips. I love them. letters for the spread. I am really bothered by those white parts of the napkins, so I'm using my dark yellow watercolor to color and blend those in with the background. This old plastic Harry Potter folder is where I keep all my paper mixed media stuff. I have kept this old cutout of Hermione Granger since, I don't know, 2009. I'm trying out which one looks better with my background. This is pretty in both. Bless you, Emma. I'll just use this one. Will probably use that other one in my future journal pages. I'm using my matte medium to paste it down. I want to use my India ink for the shadowing later, so I'm giving the edges matte surface. Since I printed these on inkjet printer, I need to carefully avoid her face to not mess with the inks. Here's that brown India ink. To cover that mark there, I'm just using my black acrylic ink. I tried spraying it with water to give it that blending effect. I'm giving the top edge some color drips using my watercolor because I just love them. I'll just keep doing it until I'm satisfied with the look. Here's my bunch of journaling quotes I'd collated and printed on sticker papers using my inkjet printer. I chose this quote: "The knowledge of happiness brings the knowledge of unhappiness." As usual, I'm pasting and securing them down with my matte medium. With my charcoal pencil, I give that quote a shadowy underline. Lastly, using my Ranger Vintage Photo ink pad, I give the bottom edge a bit of darkened brown. So that's it. One secret I'll share with you here is that I'd only realized I didn't shake my brown India ink bottle earlier. Hence, I didn't get the true effect of the ink. So thank you guys for watching. Happy journaling. Bye.